few weeks ago, I started a new segment that I felt was helpful for learners, English learners, to use as a way of talking about their life. Monologues are very important in improving your spoken English. So this is the second chapter of me talking about my life through my memories. And this chapter I'm going to have 4 short videos. The first one today, which is looking at the time from 1959 to 1965, is when I was at primary school. I went to primary school when I was 5 years old. And I'm going to talk about those school days. So I went to primary school at Westborough in Guildford. And my memories of school there, well, they started quickly on my first day. I was told to go along to the canteen for my lunch, and with trepidation I sat down and a plate of food arrived. It looked completely unappetizing, and I was told bluntly by the teaching staff and the canteen staff to get stuck in. I started to eat this dreadful food, and within a very short space of time I had vomited it all up, and the staff quickly took me to the headmaster's office, who chastised me. I said that I didn't want any food and I wasn't hungry. And when my mother arrived to collect me at 3:30, the headmaster told her what happened. And from that day on, I never had school lunches again. Okay, so that was a pretty poor start. My mother walked me to school. It was about a 30-minute walk in pleasant surroundings. There were few cars in those days, and the walk was healthy exercise. And but after a little while, I obviously started finding friends, and soon my mother was replaced by my best friend, one Kevin Tilbury, who lived near me. A further memory from school I recall was my first unsatisfactory incident with my peers. I fell out with this boy on the walk home. We were walking through on a path next to the road, and I had an argument with this boy, and I ended up pushing him to the ground and started hitting his head on a tree trunk. Thankfully, another boy who was a friend managed to get me off him, and this averted what could have been a very serious assault. So from that day onwards, my aggressive impulses didn't rise again, thankfully. Another important memory that I recall was that I became quite good at football, and I was a member of the school football team. And when we were 11, our team managed to get to the final of the local schools tournament. And in the final, we had to play at the ground of Guildford FC. Now, they played in the Southern League, which was one league below the Football League. They had a very nice ground, and we played at that ground in the final against another primary school, Belfields. Unfortunately, we didn't play particularly well, and Belfields won 6-0. I played out on the left wing, which I could never understand because I didn't run very fast. However, it's a striking memory that I have, and it's one that is particularly vivid with regard to school. Now, I was pretty good at maths, but other subjects weren't my forte. However, when children got to the age of 11, we had to take a national exam. It was called the 11+ exam, and this exam decided which school you would move on to for your secondary education. Now, my sister had passed this exam, and so she went to the grammar school. The grammar school was for the clever students, and also for most of the rich school students. However, when I took the 11+, I failed miserably. So that meant that I ended up going to secondary school. Okay, that's the first part of this chapter.